episode of Inside the Nest. I'm Anthony Cafone. It's conference season now for fall sports, and the Redhawks have been soaring through NJAC competition this year. Let's get right to it. The MSU swimming and diving team started their season October 7th against Stevens. Thomas Gaffney has more.
On October 7th, both the men's and women's swimming and diving team opened their seasons against Stevens here at the Panzer Pool. The women's team went 7-3 last season, 6-0 at the Panzer Pool. Both Rourke Peralta and Julie Tiedemann established school records while winning events at the Metropolitan Championships. Let's see how the team fared in the opener.
The meet opened with the 1000 freestyle, where freshman Casey Giddensky finished first with a time of 11:25.6, and Julie Tiedemann finished second with a time of 11:31.2. They both also finished 1 and 2 in the 500 freestyle.
I was really excited because I was able to get closer with my teammates, and it was completely different than any other meets that I had been at compared to high school meets, with the atmosphere being completely different on the pool deck with my teammates. Everyone was just rooting for each other, and it wasn't just about my own races, and I got to do it with the rest of the team too.
The Redhawks took the top 3 spots in the 200 free as well, with Rourke Peralta finishing first with a time of 2:01.0. Julie Tiedemann finishing second, and Katie Gear finishing third.
This year was a little bit different because we had so many great races from everyone all across the board, so I feel like the energy was a lot different this year compared to last year. Like last year I was super excited. Winning your first event is always just a great feeling, but I was really happy for all my teammates as well. I think beating Stevens overall was a really big win, and I think it's a great way to start the season.
Sofia Shabovich placed first in the 100 backstroke and 200 backstroke. Rourke Peralta won in the 50 free and 100 free, and Abby Brock won first in the 100 breaststroke. Marianne Tassinari also won in the 200 breaststroke and 200 IM. The women's swimming and diving team went on to win the meet 166-96 and start the season very strong. On top of winning the meet, Rourke Peralta won NJAG Swimmer of the Week for placing first in 4 of her races.
Obviously very honored for that. I didn't win any awards last year, so this was very exciting. Teammates said congratulations, which is like my favorite part. We have 100% been training way harder than last year. We've all just been pushing each other so much more, and I think that's evident, especially with our last meet. And I think we all did a great job, and I like how on the post they said like our win over Stevens, it was a big one, so I'm glad we all got recognized in that.
Last season, the men's swimming and diving team won 6 of their matches, going 4-1 at the Panzer Pool. At the Metropolitan Collegiate Swimming and Diving Championships, Spencer Dubois set the new school record in the 100 breaststroke by posting an NCAA B-cut time of 55.26. He wanted to place second at the event, and let's see how the team did in the season opener. The meet started with Ryan Kappas and Sean Nugent going 2-3 in the 1000 freestyle. Then the winning started coming in, with Spencer Dubois placing first in the 100 breaststroke and Lucas Gomes placing first in the 100 back. Gomes didn't stop there, winning the 50 free in a very close race, barely beating the Stevens swimmer. Spencer Dubois placed second in the 200 breaststroke with a time of 2:14.78 and lost the race by a whopping 0.23 seconds. The team went on to lose the meet 150-112 and make it their 5th straight loss against Stevens.
Both teams' next meet is against Drew University on October 21st at 1 p.m. in Madison, New Jersey. Good luck to both teams in action, and from Red Hawk Sports Network, my name is Thomas Gaffney, signing off.
Thanks, Thomas. Now let's take a look at the swimming and diving team's upcoming matchups. On October 21st, they go on the road to Drew University to face the Rangers. Then 6 days later, they're back home at the Panzer Pool to take on Vassar College. Next, they travel to face the Staten Island Dolphins and Felician University Golden Falcons. Back home on November 11th, the team faces St. Peter's. The next 3 games after that are all away, 2 at Gettysburg and 1 at TCNJ. Home again, the team ends this year taking on Ramapo and Rowan on December 8th.
Volleyball has had a season of ups and downs. Currently, though, they sit at the 500 mark with an 11-11 record. Let's take a deeper look into how this season has been.
Coach Stawinski had to fill 2 big shoes to start this season, as they lost last year's leader in kills, Leah Higgins, as well as last year's assist leader, Delaney St. Pierre. Emily Karsich has taken on the assists this year, averaging over 7 assists per set. When it comes to kills, both Rachel Curran and Sky Ramsey have taken on the challenge to fill the shoes left behind by Leah Higgins. Combined, they have almost 6 kills per set. They started off the season on a rocky start, winning some games and losing others. Unfortunately for the Redhawks, once NJAC play started against Kane, they would go on a 7-game losing streak, which included 3 more NJAC matchups. However, this losing streak would come to a halt after they beat NJCU in an NJAC matchup on the road. On that road trip, they also beat Lancaster Bible College and Penn State Berks. MSU is currently on a 3-game winning streak. Looking forward to the playoffs, they are 1-4 in the NJAC, which puts them in the 8th seed. Unfortunately for the Redhawks, this currently puts them out of the picture, since only the first 6 teams qualify for the playoffs. However, there are still 3 NJAC games left to play, which means there is still a chance for them to qualify.
Montclair will finish their season with 5 of their last 7 matchups at home. Their next is against NJAC opponent Rutgers Camden. For Red Hawk Sports Network, I'm Vincent Picon.
Just like that, NJAC championships are right around the corner for the Red Hawks cross country team. 4 meets have come and gone, so let's take a look back at how things have unraveled this year for Montclair State. The Red Hawks started things off with a bang at the Stockton season opener behind a strong performance from Aubrey Johnson, running a time of 20 minutes 25.01 in the 5K. That's the fastest time by a Red Hawk since Kelly Weckstein's mark of 19:31.59 all the way back in 2021. Montclair State tallied 113 points as a team and finished in 4th place. Next up, they went right back to Stockton for the Osprey Open, where the team now competed in a 6K. The Red Hawks finished in 8th place among 16 teams, but were able to get personal bests from Julie Murphy and Kelly Witters. Montclair State turned up the heat at the NJIT Highlander Challenge, competing in yet another 5K. Aubrey Johnson beat her personal best on the season, running a time of 19:25.1 and placing 10th overall. Johnson has been the top finisher for Montclair State in every single meet so far and recorded a time which was also 2nd amongst all Division III runners at NJIT. The Red Hawks had 8 runners record a personal best. You heard me, 8. As a team, they finished 4th out of 34 teams and finished 2nd amongst all Division III schools with 185 points. The Red Hawks then traveled to Glassboro for the Rowan Border Battle, placing 21st among 32 teams. Coming up, the cross-country team takes on the NJAC Championships at Stockton, and then right after that, it's back to Rowan for the Metro Regional. Still a lot of running left to be done, but the Red Hawks are flying high. For the Red Hawk Sports Network, I'm Connor Cuban.
Our Red Hawks football team has had a great season so far. We've given a lot of attention to the offense and quarterback Andrew Sanborn. On homecoming, we highlighted the passing attack with Clarence Wilkins and the rushing attack by committee led by Henry Lewis. But we left some out. The most underappreciated group on every football team is the offensive line. We are joined today by offensive lineman Ryan Whalen and Sean Mayer. Fellas, how are you today?
I'm doing quite well, Phil. Thank you for having us on the show today.
Yeah, Ryan, how you doing?
Great, happy to be on here.
You guys have been dominant so far. Only 4 sacks led up this entire year, which is least in the NJAC. How have you really maintained this pass blocking attempt on this offensive line?
I feel like we've been working a lot of good technique, a lot of good drills in practice. We practice really hard. All of the drills we work, Coach Bakke has us doing, it's really been helping us a lot develop and really emphasize the key core of pass blocking. It really just helps us hold the line a lot better, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Ryan, for you, how have you really been adapting to this new offensive line? I mean, you were at New Haven last year, D2 program, and now you're here, a part of this program. How have you really meshed in and really tried to fit in on this offensive line?
Well, it's been a mix of, Coach Bakke, getting after us every single day, making sure our technique is good, and then with good technique comes confidence. Then with confidence comes, speed. So it has a lot to do with Coach Bakke, but also, a lot of the older guys helping me, get into the offense during camp, getting a real, understanding of it. So when the season came around, I was able to hit the ground running and, haven't looked back. But it definitely comes from practice and a lot of older guys helping me out.
And as you said, as the season's gone along, you got more comfortable. I think this entire offensive line and group has really gotten more comfortable as the year has gone along. Talk about that Kane game, 275 total rushing yards, 176 from Henry Lewis. That's in big part to you guys. How are you able to really dominate the running game in that game, and how has that really been the theme of your offensive line as the years moved along?
I feel like we're gonna work quickly back to practicing a lot. A lot of the drills we're running this year, they're really helping us develop that double team techniques that we need to drive defenders down the field, allowing us to get off on linebackers and create some separation for the lining backs to run, create some two-way goes, different rush lanes, run lanes for them as well. Overall, I mean, the running backs, they've been doing a great job, but I feel like up front, especially the blocking schemes we've had this year and the physicality that we're using this year, we're definitely a lot more physical this year, I'd say, and it's just overall, it feels great to be able to run the ball a lot more efficiently and effectively.
Yeah, I know. We talked a little bit before about how hitting that second level is so important for an offensive lineman, and we were talking about how Ryan, during that Kane game on that big 80-yard touchdown run by Henry Lewis, you hit a safety, and you literally drove him back. Was it 15, 20 yards on that play?
Yeah, something like that. I mean,
Wow.
it just goes back to what Coach Bacchia emphasized with the offensive line, like technique, getting your assignment, and finishing the play. So, you know, it all goes back to him and, like, the morals he instills on us. And I think I speak for every offensive lineman when I say we love passing the ball, but as soon as you hear a run play dialed in, like, dude, that's our bread and butter. That's the stuff we love to hear. And every offensive lineman, that's what gets them excited, hearing a run call.
And, you know, being on the offensive line, it's not the glory position. You're not scoring touchdowns. You're not, getting in the end zone all the time. So why do you think that offensive linemen are so underappreciated in the game of football?
I think it's because the only time that you ever really hear an offensive lineman name called is on a penalty, or if they let up a sack. You see a lot of attention goes to the ball carriers, quarterbacks throwing the ball, obviously, handing off to the running backs who make cuts, get the ball, gain yards, receivers, even tight ends to an extent, because, yeah, they're blockers, but they can still go up and make a really good vertical catch, be a good threat in the passing game still. But the offensive line, we just get there, we get down to business, we do all the dirty work so that those guys can succeed.
And I know Palazzo does a really unconventional style when it comes to the offensive line play. He has two separate offensive line groups. And I know, Ryan, you said you were on the second group that comes in after the first drive. Is that really what are the benefits of having two different offensive line groups and being able to rest every other drive and get your legs fresh?
Well, I think in the Kane game, it was really like, we were able to see like the difference it made, because coming down late into the game, because we were splitting reps and because guys were more fresh, we were able to put together long rushing attempts in the fourth quarter. And as you know, like when you're up, you can put together those long rushing drives to just choose the clock, and it ultimately demoralizes the team. Like when you know like that you're going to be running inside, and they know it, and they can't really do anything to stop it. So I think keeping guys fresh, and also we don't have a bye week this year, so guys are going to be banged up and sore. So I think people splitting reps and not getting killed on Saturday is going to help transition as we get into the weeks and like the later parts of the season.
And I know how every offensive line needs that one crucial leader to really give that unit its identity. And for you guys, who do you really think is that leader on that offensive line group that really brings out everybody's best ability?
I think I have to say it's our captain, Sam Ray, number 77. We call him Big Red. He's got Big Red tattooed on his biceps. I think he's a very good, he basically represents all of us. Very physical, demanding force on the line. He's a great leader, has a lot of good things to say, but is overall just a really physical, dominant player.
And last question before I get you guys out of here. What's the biggest thing that makes this offensive line so special?
Oh, we're just a really tight group. Like everybody's like great friends with each other. Like Coach Bacchia made it a point of emphasis. Like all the offensive linemen, like we all eat together during camp. He made us wear Hawaiian shirts to every single team meal, and so it was like all of us will look the same in a way. And also like everybody goes out to breakfast like a few times before the season starts, and everybody's checking in with each other. We have a group chat that we talk in every single day, so it's just constant communication, and with that you become like close with the group that you're working with. So it doesn't matter who's next to you, like you're close and you're on the same page, and that ultimately leads to everybody working as one, which is what every offensive line is trying to do.
Sean?
Communication is something that's really key when you're playing offensive lineman, and having that bond, that tightness, like Ryan was saying, it really helps out a lot. Like Ryan said, we get breakfast together, a lot of us. We're all really close. Well, like we said, we have a group chat together, always talking, not just football, just unserious stuff, just messing around, anything. But we're all really close. We're all really good friends, and I think a lot of that has to do with Bacchia bringing us all together this year. Even before that, we were close, but then we brought the freshmen in. The freshmen, I feel like they feel very connected with us. They're very friendly, and we just want to be the best we can to them. Want to make sure that we connect with them because they're the next generation and they're the future of the program. So we want to make sure that they're happy, content, and they love it here. So,
Sean, thank you guys so much. Guys, really appreciate you guys coming out here, giving us a little insight about the Montclair State offensive line. You guys are doing a great job this year, one of the best offensive lines in all the NJAC. We appreciate you taking the time to come here and talk with us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching another episode of Inside the Nest. I'm Anthony Cafone. Keep track of everything Montclair State sports by following our Instagram at RedHawkSN and listening to every home broadcast of the 2023-24 year. We'll see you next time.